The Titanic was a luxurious passenger liner that sank on April 15, 1912, on its maiden voyage from Southampton, UK to New York City, USA. The tragedy claimed the lives of more than 1,500 people, making it one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. The sinking of the Titanic has fascinated people for over a century and has been the subject of numerous books, films, and documentaries. The Titanic was built by the White Star Line, a British shipping company, and was one of the largest and most luxurious ships of its time. It was 882 feet long, 92 feet wide, and weighed 46,328 tons. It had a total of 4 smokestacks, 2 of which were for show and the other 2 were functional. The ship had a capacity of 2,435 passengers and crew and was equipped with the latest safety features, including watertight compartments and lifeboats. On the evening of April 14, 1912, the Titanic struck an iceberg in the North Atlantic Ocean. The exact time of the collision is disputed, but it is generally believed to have occurred at around 11:40 p.m. ship's time. The ship was traveling at a speed of around 22 knots, 25 miles per hour, when it hit the iceberg. The impact was felt throughout the ship and was described by passengers as a loud grinding noise. The iceberg tore a large hole in the side of the ship, causing water to flood into the first 5 of the ship's 16 watertight compartments. The Titanic was designed to stay afloat with any 2 adjacent compartments flooded, but the damage was too severe and the water quickly spread to the other compartments. The ship's captain, Edward Smith, was informed of the situation and immediately ordered the crew to start loading the lifeboats. However, the Titanic only had enough lifeboats to accommodate 1,178 people, less than half of the total number of passengers and crew on board. This was because the ship was designed to be unsinkable, and the builders believed that there would be no need for more lifeboats. Additionally, many of the lifeboats that were launched were not filled to capacity, as passengers and crew were reluctant to leave the perceived safety of the ship. As the water continued to flood into the ship, it began to tilt forward, causing the stern to rise out of the water. This made it difficult to launch the remaining lifeboats, as they were either too high above the water or too close to the sinking ship. The ship's lights flickered and eventually went out, plunging the Titanic into darkness. At around 2:20 a.m., the Titanic finally sank beneath the waves. Those who were still on board, either trapped or unwilling to leave, were dragged down with the ship. The temperature of the water was around -2 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and those who managed to get into the lifeboats were exposed to the freezing conditions. The Carpathia, a nearby ship, received the Titanic's distress signal and rushed to the scene. It arrived at around 4 a.m. and began to rescue the survivors. In total, 710 people were rescued, while more than 1,500 perished. The sinking of the Titanic was a tragic event that had far-reaching consequences. It led to the implementation of numerous safety regulations for ships, including the requirement for all ships to carry enough lifeboats for all passengers and crew. It also highlighted the need for better communication systems and improved training for crew members. In conclusion, the sinking of the Titanic was caused by the collision with an iceberg, which caused severe damage to the ship's hull and flooding of its compartments. The lack of sufficient lifeboats, as well as their inefficient deployment, contributed to the high number of casualties. The tragedy,